Hello, new CSF applicants. Today we're going to be taking a look at how to apply as a new applicant for a CSF scholarship. Currently we're on our Family Access page. To get to this page, you're going to want to go to our CSF website at csfomaha.org. Now, since we're a new applicant, this means that you're not currently receiving a CSF scholarship. So once you want to apply, you're going to hit Get Started under New Applicant. First thing you're going to want to take a look at is our eligibility scale right here. It's going to compare your household size to the amount of income you made within that year. If you fall within those income guidelines, then you are going to be eligible for a CSF scholarship. Another thing you're going to want to know is that we do look at income documentation. So if you filed for taxes, if you have child support, alimony, Social Security, public housing, things of that nature, we're going to want to look at that documentation. Now, the first part of our application is going to be filling in parent-guardian information. So for our purposes, I'm just going to go ahead and type in test. And then you're going to want to add in your relationship to the child. We're going to see mother for me, ethnicity, and then your marital status as well. At this time, if you do have a preferred language, you can go ahead and put that in now. If it's not listed within this box, you can click Other and go ahead and type that in. Again, for our purposes, I'm just going to go ahead and leave that blank. Next thing we're going to have you do is type in your address. We do send out mailings. One of the main mailings that we send out is notifying our families on whether or not they've received a CSF scholarship. So this is definitely something that we want to keep up to date. And if anything changes, you can just let our office know and we can change that on your application as needed. We're also going to have you put in a phone number, that way we can contact you this way if at all needed. And then you'll select what type of phone that is, whether it's home, work, or cell. And if you have any other additional phone numbers you'd like to add, you're more than welcome to do that. Next thing we'll have you do is we'll have you type in an email address. You will get a submission email after completing this application. You're also going to want to create a password as well. This allows you to come back to your application after you submit and upload documentation if you don't have it currently. This is also another way that we have families that do currently receive a scholarship log back in, and that way all of this family information, parent-guardian information is already locked in, and you can kind of skip this step once you're receiving a scholarship. The next thing we're going to have you do is select the best way we can contact you, whether that's mail, email, or phone. And then we're going to have you do your employment status. We're going to say part-time for this one. Highest education level, we'll put some college. And then if you'd like, you can put how you've heard about CSF. Now, if you do have another parent or guardian that you would like to put their information for, you're more than welcome to do that at this time. For our purposes, I'm going to go ahead and hide that and skip that step. The next portion of this application is household financial information. So the first thing you're going to want to do is list the number of adults versus the number of children or dependents in your family. So for this application, we're going to say that there's one adult in the family and that there's 2 children. Now for this next section, it's asking if your household size differs from what's listed on your federal 1040, then you're going to want to put their name, birth date, and the relationship to the head of household for that person on this section. So let's say that I do have 2 dependents, but the father is claiming one of these dependents on his taxes. Then what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to list that person that the father's claiming, their birth date, and their relationship to me. So for this one, I have, say, my son's name, his birth date, and son, his relationship to me. The next question on here is, do you agree to share your financial information with the school you're applying for? Keeping in mind that your school is able to check for that incomplete and incorrect information on an application, whereas CSF does not have the capability to do that. So if you do want your school to look at that financial information and be able to check for correct and complete information, you're going to want to click yes. If you do not want your school to be able to see that financial information, you are going to hit no, knowing that CSF will not be able to follow up regarding incorrect and incomplete information. So for this application, I'm going to hit yes. I would like my school to be able to view this financial information and to check for complete and correct application statuses. The next thing we're going to take a look at is point by point each type of income documentation you could have received within this past year. So the first one is our adjusted gross income. It's asking if we filed taxes. I'm going to say yes, I did file taxes. And we're just going to say that I made $123 in that last year. Now, at this part, you can upload that documentation, or if you don't have that documentation, you can save it to upload later or send it to our offices. Just to show you how to upload, I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So I'm going to click Upload. I'm going to click this document, hit Open, and upload it to there. If I do have 2 pages that I want to upload, I'm going to upload one here, and then I can go ahead and upload it on the second. If I would like to remove this file, I can do that by clicking Remove File. So we're going to go through and we're going to say that no, I didn't receive child support, I didn't receive alimony, I didn't receive adoption subsidy, not aided dependent children, but we're going to say that I did receive SNAP. We're going to say that I got $123 in that year from SNAP. But let's say that I don't have that documentation yet to upload. I'm going to go ahead and leave that upload file blank for now. We're going to say that I did not receive Social Security, I didn't receive public housing, and I don't have any additional income. Now, if you hover over this question mark, it'll kind of list the other forms of income that you could be receiving, such as veterans disability, unemployment compensations, things of that nature. And then if you have any other additional information about your finances that you would like to put in here, you're more than welcome to do that now. Now the next portion of this application is student information. So the first thing you're going to enter is your children's name. And then we're going to go to their birth date, we're going to go to their gender, ethnicity, and the grade that they will be going into for the next year. Then we're also going to have you select the school that they will be attending in the next year. We're going to go with Brownell Talbot for now. And say that you didn't see the school you want to attend within these schools that we currently partner with. You are welcome to just hit I do not see my school, or you haven't decided one, and then type in the school that you're either thinking of attending or you will be attending. School is definitely something that we're going to need to know, so if you do not know while filling out the application, that's okay, but we will be following up with you so that we can find that out. Then you're going to come down here, and if you do currently attend the school that you selected above right here, then you're going to go ahead and click yes, and then is the child transferring from a public school, we're going to say no. Now at this time, this is what a lot of parents forget when they're filling out this application, is that you want to add each student that you're applying for. So we have this green button right down here that says add another student. So since I have 2 dependents, I'm going to add another one. We're going to type in all that information again, select a birth date, a gender, ethnicity, and the grade that they will be going into, and the school that they will be attending for the next year. Okay, and then you can do this as many times as you'd like for as many students as you're applying for. The final thing we're going to take a look at is some verification statements. So we'll just go through these quickly. I promise to pay my school the required family commitment of $500. This $500 is an excess tuition and is sent straight to the school. That is between you and them. I promise to ensure my children maintain a minimum of 90% school attendance. I promise to complete an online parent survey in the spring. If you are awarded a scholarship, funding allowed, we will be sending that survey to you via email in the spring. I promise to comply with the standards of my children's chosen school, and I certify that all the information provided on this form is true and complete to the best of my knowledge. And then the final thing you're going to do here is just do an electric signature and go ahead and hit submit. Oh, it looks like my date of birth was not valid. So if this ever does come up to you, it'll pop you back up at the top, tell you what is incorrect. Date of birth is not a valid date format. So you're just going to slide down to wherever that's highlighted in red, which would be this one. Put in the correct date and then hit submit. So once you get to this point, this means that you have completed filling out the parent information and the basic financial information of the application, and you should have received a submission email. Now, if you didn't upload all of your financial documentation, that means that the application is not complete. We do need to have that financial documentation to have a complete application. So at this time, this page is letting you know that you can mail, email, or fax that documentation to our office. If you choose to do that option, we would like you to click here so that you can receive a cover letter. Now, on this cover letter, it will list the parent, the students you applied for, and then it'll have your required documents. So adjusted gross income, I know that I uploaded that, so I don't need to include that if I decide to send in my income documentation. But SNAP, I know that I did not upload that onto my application, so I do need to send that in to the CSF office if I choose to do it this way. So when you mail, email, or fax it to us, you're going to want to include this cover letter. That way we can tell which family we need to upload that documentation to. Now, if you decide you would like to upload the documentation on your own, that is more than okay. You won't need the cover letter to do this. What you'll do is open the submission email that you should have received after completing the basic information on your application. And this email will just say, thank you for submitting your application. If you still need to upload that documentation, we'll have you click on this link, log in using this email, and the password that you created when doing your application. Once you've logged back in, this is what you'll see on the home page. You want to go to application in that blue header, and this will list the steps in the application that you've done. You'll click on step 3, which is enter family financials, and over here will be those orange buttons for the finances that you've claimed. I already know that I've put something in for my adjusted gross income, but I need something for my food stamps or SNAP, so I'll click on that and I can hit upload and upload a documentation there. Once that's complete and you have all the correct and complete information for your application, you are finished, and you will hear July 1st whether or not you have received a scholarship through CSF.